What an upgrade on Rob Edwards this fella is. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to Where Boro Walk. What can we say about Kim Hellberg? The football that Boro are playing at the moment has been described as, many words. Electric, scintillating, dazzling. Ben says, Boro just need to sell audiobooks of Hellberg talking for Christmas because all we want to do is listen to him talk. How are you all doing? Welcome back. This is 20 more minutes of Middlesbrough chat with Jonathan, Sarah, fresh back, of course, from watching Boro demolish QPR. Coming up this week then, we're also talking about penalty takers. Who from the Boro history books will be most certain of scoring a pen? We're up talking about our FA Cup draw, how happy or not were we what with Boro got, and of course we're up to letter J for this, and I think I can predict the one player that definitely should get in here. I think I'll do it myself and give you two a rest this week. Welcome back, Jonathan and Sarah. You've had a midweek trip, of course, this week as well. We need to get into as well, but we've got to start talking about Hellberg. Jonathan, could you listen to the guy all night?
Yeah, he's brilliant to listen to. He's absolutely right. The whole crowd's buzzing for him at the minute. And you know what it is? He speaks in a different way and he speaks in different terms. That's the thing that I've kind of picked out. So his press conference the other day and previous ones too, he talks about, he watches the players and then he says, look, we're not going to do one-on-one situations because we don't have players to do that. You know, we're not a Stuart Ripley flying down the wing and sticking a cross in sort of player. Where we got players who do combination play. And so we need to be more compact and we're very good in tight spaces. And he's organised us that way, as opposed to, I'm the manager, this is how we play, and you fit into my system. And you don't need to think too far back, really. I mean, you think about, Carrick had a great 22-23, but the players fitted what he wanted. And then after they didn't really fit what he wanted, it all fell apart rather badly, to be honest with you. So, Engel. Hellberg is what is the Engel? Hellberg is it's clever management. It's saying, right, what are you lot good at, and how are we best going to take advantage of that? And that's just brilliant. That's brilliant management all round. Even outside of football, that's how you manage people. It's fantastic to hear.
Okay. We have got one criticism of him coming up in a couple of minutes. I know, I found one. Stay tuned for that. I'm not sure it was from a real Boro fan, but we'll see.
Thank you. Yeah.
Smoggy Rob says the difference between how Kim speaks from Rob is insane. He has a clear tactical answers for everything, and I don't think I've ever heard him speak about anything other than work hard. About anything other than work hard, family kinds of lines. Kim is so good, I'm actually a little bit worried that a Premier League team might come in for him. Sarah, how good is it being a Boro fan at the moment?
It's extraordinary. I mean, seriously, you could not imagine that this would have happened. I wrote about it today. I never heard of the guy a month ago, and he's come in, and I don't think this is a new manager bounce. I don't think there's any fluke in it. He's designed everything. He's meticulous. I mean, he talks in so much detail. I mean, that guy was right. I mean, Edwards just talked about working hard and running and all the rest of it. He doesn't do that. He gives us details. And I mean, I sometimes think keep your cards a bit close to your chest, but he's that confident in what he can do and what the play. I mean, I will say this, he's come from the Swedish League and from Hammarby, and no disrespect for them, because I know we have a few Hammarby followers now, so I don't want to call him out. But I think he must think he's died and gone to heaven with our players. He must be looking at playing with the likes of Whittaker, looking at with Riley McGree, with Hackney, and thinking, oh my God, these players are awesome. And that must be coming across him when the way he's coaching with them as well. Conway talked about it yesterday. We absolutely love working with him. The way he's getting us to play, everybody's bought into it. They're all following it to the letter. I just can't believe it. I honestly can't. We were so, as you know, down when the Everett situation happened. I don't think we were down. We just felt like we'd been mugged off. We felt like idiots. And I think, we wondered how that could go on. And I sat here and said, there's nobody out there. There's no managers out there. Who we're going to get?
Yeah, we all said it, yeah.
Yeah, and then this guy comes up and everyone's like, yeah, but it's the Swedish League. How good can that be? He's never been in the Championship. We need Championship quality managers. My goodness, I can't believe it.
Yeah,
most important question.
Sorry, Mark. I was going to say, and his communication, we talk about it at press conferences, but with the players too, because they're literally from, I think the only thing you'd say is the first half of his first game against Derby, where I think he had half an hour on the training pitch where we were a bit jittery and a bit uncertain, was it. The rest of it, they've executed it to perfection. And he's got to have a way of getting his point across, which is very easy to understand. And you can see it, you can hear it in the press conference. You think, yeah, I get what you're saying there, Paul. Yeah, I can do that. And the players are just having a field day executing it.
Have we got a decent song for him yet?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Kim Hellberg, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard that one. I said a decent song. Yeah,
it's time round that, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. We've only got 2 more weeks of that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We have got a gimme song for him, so maybe that comes after Christmas.
Okay. Mark J says it's incredible how quickly Hellberg has us playing such electric football so quickly after such a pedestrian team under the rat. It's good, isn't it, how you are now criticising that football? We were praising it a month ago. We look unstoppable at the moment. I'm sure the setting has a head lie ahead. We must keep Hackney in January. Yeah, the January rumours are all flying around, Sarah, about who's going where, and Hackney's name is up there. Do you suspect he might get tempted to the big league?
No. I don't think he'll go in January. I think when he made the decision, or when the decision was made for him not to go in the summer, I think that was always going to be for the season. Whether he goes in the summer is obviously another matter, but I don't believe he will go in January. I think January is always one of those funny months anyway, because the teams that might come in for him are the ones that are potentially struggling. Does he want to risk what he could have with Boro? I mean, this is a local guy representing his town. And he was captain yesterday, which I felt was interesting because Ayling was on the pitch. Sorry.
Anyway. He's not the only one by the sounds of it, yeah.
No, Ayling was on the pitch, and obviously he's been vice captain to Dale Fry. Dale Fry doesn't play enough games. I think, and I've got this opinion that Hellberg spoke about when he came to the club, he watched a lot of videos of the players. So I think he's watched a lot of videos of us as a team. I think he's watched a lot of the individual players. I think it's not just been the strikers. I think it's been every player. And you've said it, Jonathan, many, many times. You know, when Hackney plays well, we play well. And I think that Hellberg has looked at Hackney and gone, I just got to build this team around that guy, because he is honest. I don't think I've ever seen him play as well as he has the last few games. He's been extraordinary. And I think that the way even the 4-2-2-2 formation suits Hackney, because before we were playing with players too far away from him. He wasn't able to, as you say, the combinations, the way he runs with the ball. There was no options for him. I mean, in the first 5 minutes of that game yesterday, Ayling, our centre half, is in the box. You know, we're attacking with such numbers. It was it's just unbelievable. So coming back to Hackney, no, I think he's got a coach that really wants to get the best out of him, will build his team around him, and he will want to captain Middlesbrough in the Premier League. That will be a dream for him. So obviously, if we don't make it, fair play, I think he will have to move on for his own career. But if we make it, I'm fairly confident he stays. I don't think he goes in January. I will say that.
Okay. Are you ready for some Hellberg criticism? Okay. Here we go. Geoff Hall says, we are fantastic in the first half, but F me, the second half has been very hard to watch since Hellberg took over. We are getting away with it, but it's concerning. We have nothing to give in the second half. I have time and time again. Jonathan.
Yeah, Hellberg acknowledged that. He was asked about it in the interview. Well, I don't know which interview it was, but post-game, they said, second half levels weren't the same as first half. And there's a couple of things you'd say. Look, the subs did make an impact. So, QPR changed it up and we changed it up, and the quality did dip. But Hellberg would also say this, is that, he's still training the guys. They're not used to playing that way. So getting one half out of them, 45 minutes, is fantastic at this stage. To get a full 90 out of them, I think that's asking an awful lot after 4 matches. And
Three whole weeks at it.
Exactly. And what you've got to counterbalance that with is the transformation in the first half. And what I'd say is this, is first half goals, the 17 games, we scored 6 first half goals. In the last 4, well, it's actually 3 because we didn't score any at Derby, we scored 8. So, I mean, we're nailing it in the first half. And yes, then we're becoming a little bit more defensive in the second half, and it's sometimes not as attractive, but we're winning games. And then people say, oh, you've not come against anyone good. Well, I think QPR were on form and Derby were on form. And the Championship can throw up any kind of result. So yeah, I understand what he's saying, but you're expecting an awful lot from the fella for just 4 games. And so, and actually, you know what? I think I saw that tweet, and I think a Hammarby fan replied to it and says, no, just you wait, pal. Second half, they'll get it as well. In fact, Hammarby normally play better in the second half than they do in the first. So just patience is always a virtue.
You did. Let's talk about some players then, shall we? Stood out. First of all, I want to talk about this fella who got an assist. Yeah, for a goal as well. Brilliant. Lucy says, I love the way that the players tore towards him, of course, as well. Yeah. Just how good has he been, Sarah?
Oh, he's been fantastic. I mean, he's so calm and he's so confident, and the way he catches the ball. It's a long time since I've seen a Boro goalkeeper do that. Every cross that comes in, you're just very confident he's going to get it. I think he's been unlucky with the goals we've conceded actually under Hellberg. 2 penalties. 2 penalties, am I right in saying that? No, 1 penalty. Yeah, 2 penalties and an own goal. It's really, if you look at it like that, I think he's done extremely well. I was a bit concerned for him under Hellberg because the rumours were he played like a sweeper keeper, if that makes sense. A little bit like what we had with Zach Steffen in the past under Carrick. And if anything, Dieng is more suited to that style. But actually, I saw him try, he was playing the ball out. His distribution is extremely good. And of course, the distribution for the Whittaker goal. I was diagonally right behind Morgan Whittaker when he picked that ball up. I just knew where that was going before he even hit it, because the guy just he let him. I mean, who lets him free on his left foot? I don't understand that. But anyway, tremendous. And yeah, very excited. And he's another Teesside Boro lad. Very exciting.
Yeah, you know what? Across the team as well, it's an interesting. Bryn's it's interesting. I think Bryn and Conway. Bryn's actually been every game, hasn't he? And Conway's virtually and Hackney are the other two. But actually, if you look across our team, Britton, Ayling, Jones, Target, Hackney, Whittaker, Conway. Yeah, they've missed a couple, but not a lot of games. And actually, now Bagree and Strelick are in. The really question mark is actually who plays next to Hackney. And, is it Gilbert? Is it Brown? But the rest of the positions, if they're
Morris, don't forget Morris.
Exactly. And Bangura fighting with Target. And Melander's got to come into that equation. It's I'm not surprised Hellberg's pleased because, Scott did a great job in the summer and our squad is stronger than last season. And Hellberg's just taking it by the scruff of the neck and he's making it work.
It's Bristol City at the weekend and they are ready and primed to give one of your players, of course, hell. This week. Great for him that he scored this weekend to get some confidence. Tom says, how can anyone slate this line? Is beyond me. Always about the team and contributes so much more than just goals. Now he's got Strelick and Whittaker in form. Hopefully he can relax. Do you think some of the early season issues to both of you were just about that maybe he bore the burden of scoring goals, but now you're scoring them from pretty much everywhere on the pitch that he doesn't feel that pressure? Is that we were guessing, or what do you think?
Yeah,
Sam?
I think so. I think 100% that. I think if he didn't score, we didn't score. That was the problem under Edwards, wasn't it? He was the man. He was the only guy we had. Whittaker wasn't scoring at that time. Strelick wasn't scoring. I think that he was bearing and he's a young lad and he cares deeply. I think that's obvious. And when he spoke afterward the game as well, he talked about how this has been the toughest period of his career. Despite the fact that we're flying, right? So he's still feeling that pressure and still feeling that, I've got to score goals. And he does want to score goals. And I think the last 2-3 games have been his best games as well. So he clearly is thriving in the system. And it was interesting because obviously, Hellberg was asked about Conway and his answer was excellent. He didn't even give it. He said he is an excellent player. The work he does, and I know everyone, it was all that talk about, he just works hard and all the rest of it. But I don't buy into that. I think there's more than that. He creates space. He causes problems. He harries defenders. He lets other players have space around him. I think he's going to score against. I think he's going to get a hat trick against Bristol City.
Yeah, you know what I liked as well? He scored a penalty for his first goal for in ages on Saturday, and he was conscientious. He'd been practicing his penalties after his training sessions, and he'd been working with Dieng and Bryn and taking advice from him. And I noticed this, and I might be wrong because I'm going off memory, but he was conscientious enough to know that he'd missed 2 penalties last season. I remember one of them, it was against Norwich, and both times he put the ball to the one side of the keeper, and it was, I wouldn't say it's a comfortable save, but you know what I mean? It wasn't the hardest penalty to save. And I think this penalty stuck right down the middle. And there's a bit of thinking there because he knows that keepers think, right, you're either going one side or other. You never go down the middle. And I'll give him credit for that. He's obviously a thinking man, and he obviously knows what he works hard. So yes, he wasn't getting the goals, but he kept at it. And that little penalty bit of insight, I liked. I appreciated that from Conway. I thought it was good work.
He could have had 3 yesterday, but he got into situations, and I think we have to give credit for that. When they're getting into the positions and it's just not working out, you know, at some point it's going to start working out.
This pantomime season, he's definitely going to be playing the pantomime villain this weekend. Bristol City fans are,
let's hope his focus stays on the game, though. I think he doesn't throw himself around. He just sticks to, getting in the box and playing well. That's as long as his focus is there, I think he'll do well. Yeah,
he was there since the age of 8, wasn't he? So. Obviously an emotional game for him. We'll bring you our reaction to that, of course, next week. Thank you for all the likes and all the comments we've had on the channel as well. Massive to have this grow so big in such a short space of time. Thank you so much. We've had the FA Cup draw since we last spoke to you both. Jonathan, your reaction to it?
Yeah, well, living down in London is great for me. So yeah, Fulham at their place is good. You know what? I'm not sure. I'm not like Sean said last week. I'm not sure. I'm not bothered about FA Cup run. I'm more bothered about the league. But I'd like to see us away against a Premier League team playing Hellberg football, and let's see how we pit against the Prem team. So I'm looking forward to it from that perspective.
Yeah, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win, really. Well, sorry, we can't lose, really, can we? If we go out, we're going out against a Premier League team, and if we continue on, I like the cup draw. The cup does good things for us. It gives us momentum. I'm okay with us going on. But if we go out, I met some Fulham fans on the tube coming back from Charlton, and they were very, very much saying they expected us to win. So let's see.
Okay. There's been so many missed penalties this season in the Championship. So it's got us thinking. It's 1-1 in a game. Who do you want, past or present, 90th minute, to step forward, take a penalty and put it in the back of the net? Who do you trust more than any other Boro player that you've ever watched? Answers in the comments. We'll read some of these out next week. Sarah, for you, who would that be?
For me personally, and who I've watched, it would be Grant Ledbetter all day long. I think he just never. I think he missed one that I remember, and he actually scored like a minute later. It was against QPR away, but Grant Ledbetter all day long. I think he scored quite a number on his try. He just never missed. Grant Ledbetter for me. I hope Jonathan's got the other one that I was thinking of.
I got a few. I got a few. Well, I tell you, Hickton's actually, I think, our all-time penalty scorer, so he's got 38, so he seems pretty trusted. There's a guy, actually, I'd never heard of, a guy called Arthur Kay, scored 10 in one season, so he's our leader in terms of for one season, so that's pretty good. But you know what? You got to stick another couple in there in my book. Zenden, he was a penalty taker, but he scored in a cup final, so that gives him credit. Yakubu, because he was just he actually missed a couple in a game against Bristol, funnily enough, in a cup game when he was with us. But he was a very cool penalty taker. But you know what? My favourite one of all time, because he's an absolute nutcase, and it was my G, was Dino Glover. And I think he only scored 6 penalties, but in the 80s, he had no fear. So because you need attitude for penalties, and I think Dino was my man. But Sarah's right, Ledbetter was probably the king of it in most recent times.
Okay. Right, that brings us to our A to Z for Boro. Now I'm going to give you a rest here because my favourite all-time Boro player, as a non-Boro fan, we now get to. As an Everton fan watching Boro in the Premier League, there was one player who tore defenders apart. Is there anyone better than Juninho?
No. There's honourable mentions, but there's no better.
Good. Honourable mentions?
Go on, you go.
Yeah, you've been talking to Bertie. She's collared Bertie since I mentioned him last time, so he's been in her ear. So, I've got. Go on, you go. You say what you got.
I've got Bosko Jankovic.
Okay.
So he was like, and he's actually as popular with Boro as he is with actually Villa, because he was the reason Ipswich missed out on winning the league in the 81 season because he scored a couple of goals. But he was very popular, bit of a cult hero. Played a couple of seasons at Boro. I've also got Craig Johnston, who played for Borough. He played for Liverpool as well, of course, but he played for Borough for quite some time, went on to Liverpool, and of course developed the Predator book, the Adidas Predator boot. And also Joseph Job. I've got to say Joseph Job, one job on Teesside, scored in the cup final after 2 minutes, sorry. So yeah, but we should say Janino though, just to say on him, like literally changed the way our club is viewed worldwide. You know, he was massive for us. Like people know about us because of Janino. So fantastic, phenomenal player. Yeah, my hero. Not my hero because Janino is my hero, but
yeah, the pulling power of Brian Robson back in the day. You know what I mean? Because he was a global megastar, and you know I think Janino. They played that England, whatever it was called. Anyway, the tournament England played in, and he was Brazil's best player. And then he comes and signs for us. It was incredible, and without doubt, Robson was a massive part of that. Similar for Ravanelli as well. You know. So, yeah, not a player like him. You know what? I've got to say, Craig Johnson as well. He's not a Janino, but he was signed when Jack Charlton was boss, and Jack Charlton thought he was a bag of shit and didn't want him. And Craig Johnson didn't take no for an answer, so he kept practicing. And there's actually a YouTube video of him for like 20 minutes of the Craig Johnson story. And he says, look, I was, you know, I think he slept in a car. And he used to practice against, I think it was Martin Grange. He used to kick a football against the wall of the hotel. And I think Souness actually saw him practicing and got him back in. And then it was when Neil was manager, he got his chance again. So in terms of attitude and desire, he had it all. He's not Janino, but I got to say, Craig Johnson didn't have to work hard to get his spot.
Right. Have they missed any, though? Let us know in the comments like you always do. Thank you very much, you two. Massively appreciate it. Enjoy your trip to Bristol City this weekend. We'll be back next week to look at Kay in our final record, of course, before Christmas Day. So join us for that. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop us a sub and a like if you haven't yet done so already. And I've got a funny feeling we might be seeing a trophy coming to the Riverside at the end of this season. I think Coventry fans are a little bit worried. Look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for watching.